All right. So 5 p.m. calling the meeting to order. Civilian Oversight Research Committee. Representatives Thomas, Kasiri, Dean Shinbrot, Hanscom, and Gauthier in attendance. Welcome, everybody. All right, so any communications or reports? Okay. I don't have the minutes from last week's meeting. I didn't get a chance to get them written up, but so I'm just going to bump that to the general RTM meeting. We're going to approve the minutes there during the reports section, if that's all right with everyone. All right. No objection.
Fine by me.
Okay. Very well. So that allows us just to get right to it. We're going to be going through the main text of the main body of the text, the quote unquote factual part of the report. Welcome Representative Richards. And welcome Representative Flax.
Thank you. And thanks Representative Gauthier for reminding me. I thought it was at 6. So I need to pay better attention.
Gotcha. All good.
We're all in this together, Bruce.
Yeah.
Right on.
So I don't have any minutes to approve. I was going to bump that to the RTM meeting as a body. And so we just get right to the editing of the main body of the text. So we can start with the introduction. Does everyone have access to the document still? And all right, so everyone's good to go. I'm going to go.
I'm driving, but I'll be listening. So.
Okay. I'm going to go off video so I can do multiple screens here and I'm not staring into the nothing. So introduction wise, do we have any thoughts or concerns there? And just feel free to vocalize because I'm not going to be able to see the hands the way I usually do. Okay, so no comments on the introduction. All right, are we good with the table of contents? Is that, I believe we're all matched up now. With the actual text of the report versus the table of contents.
I had a comment about the like formatting. I noticed in some places it's like one single space, and in other places it's 1.15. I don't want to screw up anything in it, so if you want to change that and fix it, otherwise, if I need to, I can. Like see where you are.
Yeah, I see that.
See, it's like a little bit. Yeah, it's like we can do that at the end.
Yeah, let's just give it a shot here. See what we can do. I kind of like the 1.15, so I'm going to try to stick with that.
Yeah, I think the 1.15 looks good.
All right.
If you go up and hit edit and select all, and then maybe unselect the first page, it will do all of it.
I don't know if I did that right.
Oh my gosh, I hope this doesn't.
Okay. All right, we got the 1.15 for that section 1. We'll just do section by section. I tried doing the select all, but it didn't seem to function correctly. Okay. So as far as the content goes, we're good with section 1, or is there more to undo in there? Or redo or reconsider? Um,
This is Representative Richards. I'm just reading over right now. If you have something in specific to put attention to, I will. Otherwise, I'll be just looking through.
let's see, where is that yellow? No, the only thing I have a note of is in section 2. There's a point of discussion. So I'll wait till we clear out of section 1.
Just a question about the section that says civilian oversight has often been seen as reactive. Is that from a cited source?
Yeah, that was from the NACOL presentation.
Okay, thanks.
Sure. I could put a citation on the end of that paragraph. I have a tag on the end of the 3rd paragraph added. That's the same note. That's them.
No, it's fine. Thank you. I just was making sure it was not so much an opinion, just for how it was worded, but if it's cited, it's fine.
This is Representative Richards again.
Yes.
I'm moving on to the second part myself, just to let you know.
Okay.
So whenever you're ready to discuss.
All right. I'm trying to share my screen. I don't know how that's working out. Does everyone see the document now?
Yes.
Yeah, we can see it.
Yeah.
All right. So section 2. Hold on. All right. So yeah, there's a note here. Let's see. So Representative Gothier had a thought about this opening paragraph. And then okay. So the idea was that Representative Gothier suggested maybe creating some sort of table or a chart that might represent this information a little bit more clearly. I just couldn't conceive of one necessarily. I mean, I guess we could do like a simple grid. It's not like a simple, X and this is available here, there. I'm not sure how to do that. So I'm open to ideas. Or we can just like kind of go with what we got.
Yeah, it was just a suggestion, kind of to help people realize how you were structuring it. It seemed to go from very little authority of the Civilian Review Board to very high authority. So I thought maybe a visual would help people with that, especially even to help just break up a lot of text. But if people don't think it's necessary, then it was just a thought.
This is Representative Kasiri. I think it would be a great idea. Unfortunately, I think there's a lot of content in each section and we're not really going to be able to put it in a table.
Sure. I was just thinking more of like a pyramid, and all you have to do is like no direct civilian overboard or oversight, followed up like greater and greater kind of levels of authority. It was going to be super simple. I wasn't going to try to put all the content into it, but I'm good just leaving it alone, honestly.
Representative Richards. Yeah, I think it's hard to compare them. I don't know if it would be helpful to add a sentence before you get to the first one. Just say something like these are listed in order of kind of least oversight to most, just to give some information to that.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Okay. These categorical models are listed in order of least amount of civilian involvement and authority to the most comprehensive model, the police commission.
It's good.
Okay. Resolved. All right. All right, moving into section 2, subsection 1, no direct civilian review board. Any thoughts on this description?
Just for visualization, could we start it at the top of page 4? Start the paragraph.
Oh yeah, sure. I could throw in a couple extra returns.
Just maybe, yeah, there we go. Thank you. Oh, yeah. It does this OCD brain a little better.
I hear you. I hear you on that.
It looks like it may need a space after the word mayors, the sentence that ended in mayors in the middle of the first paragraph.
Ah, yes. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm just going to spell out Freedom of Information Act.
Yeah.
All right, are we good with subsection number 1?
Yes.
All right, moving on to subsection number 2, police and community collaborative groups.
Oh, it appears a sentence is broken up there. The last sentence
Oh.
of the first paragraph, identify.
Now, do we want to leave the direct reference to the police and community together group, the PACT group, in the city in that opening sentence? I could trim that out and, well, I don't know.
This is Representative Kasiri. I would prefer keeping it in just because it actually breaks down what the goals are for a
Yeah.
group like that.
Yep.
I actually like seeing that in there.
Gotcha. I agree. As I was actually considering trimming it out, I started looking at all the stuff in there and realized, nope, that's good. I'll just leave it as is.
You also reference other models like Hartford and Stonington in the other
Yeah.
sections, so it doesn't look out of place.
Yeah.
I think it's a helpful reference here, Representative Richards.
Thank you. All right. So are we good with number 2 then? All right. And hearing no objections, moving on to number 3. Civilian review boards. I'm not seeing anything. Anyone else have anything?
I just had a question about the last paragraph of that.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, not the last paragraph, the last sentence. It references city officials. Sorry.
Yes. The subjects of the meetings have been discussed during city council meetings as well. Oh, Representative Richards, I think you're muted.
Is that talking about the New London City Council?
Yes.
Or just general?
I
Okay.
should specify that. I'm not sure how important that fact is. I just, some of the research I did, I came across some minutes of the New London City Council where they were discussing explicitly what was happening inside the PCRC meetings in the previous weeks. And I just thought it was an interesting tidbit, but I'm not attached to it if it feels like it's a distraction or it's clunky.
This is Jill. If you're going to put New London in, I would capitalize city and council.
Thanks. All right. Any other discussion on subsection 3?
Yeah.
All right. Hearing no objections. Moving on to number 4. Civilian oversight and review boards.
Only thing I could see is maybe police chief and mayor at the end should be capitalized.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Maybe not. English wasn't my best.
Got you. Well, we could go into a quick breakdown of common nouns versus proper nouns. I believe the dividing line is if there's a personal name attached to the title, then it becomes proper. Otherwise, it's just general and common.
I would leave it as a lowercase because a police chief would also be following the same rules, I think.
Yes.
Just referring to the function.
All right. Any other thoughts on number 4? Hearing no objections. Moving on to number 5, police commissions. Now this has my old outline form in it with a hard colon. I'm going to clean up that first sentence.
This is Representative Hanscom. I just have a comment on the second sentence under
Yes.
number 5. It has the authority to make all needful regulations. Could you just put necessary? I don't know why that word needful just seems so weird to me.
Oh yeah, that came out of the actual code. But it's an old English word. We'll do necessary. Only other time I've ever heard that used in popular culture was Stephen King novel, Needful Things. All right. All right. Any other thoughts on subsection 5? All right, hearing none. Moving on to section 3, current model of oversight in the town of Groton. Here I want capitalize and everything.
This is Representative Richards. I was just looking at number 2 here, and I'm just going to read it, one of the sentences aloud here to help me think about this one. A link to the area of the town website that connects to the complaint and information request forms is available on the website and can be found in the appendices. It's funny, it mentions the website in the beginning, and then it says later it's available on the website. So
Yeah.
it should be rephrased somehow.
Yeah. I think this used to be like 2 different sentences, and I didn't quite edit it all the way through. A link to the area of the town website.
I think since we are actually including the complaint and information request forms in full, we shouldn't I mean, I can obviously link it in those sections, but you know, we could just say examples of the complaint and information request forms are available in the appendix.
I think it would also be helpful just to note that people can find links to those on the website.
Examples of complaint and information request forms are included in the appendices in the appendix, and also are available on the town website.
I would change that to, and links are available on the town website, not examples.
Ah, yes. All right, so as far as this whole italicized section about the possible conflicts of interest, this was a side note that I think Chief Fasaro went into detail on. I think this was from his meeting where he went into detail on it. And I wasn't sure what to do with it or how to include it. So that's why I did the italics in parentheses. But I'm open to suggestion. Do we need a second or its own bullet point?
Yeah, I would say this is Representative Gothier. I'd say make it maybe 2A, or break it out into its own subsection. I don't think it needs to go into number 3, but I think that'd be more clear and appropriate than having a large italicized block in the middle. Yeah, I think that's better. I don't know if anyone agrees or disagrees, but
Italics or no italics?
no italics.
Gotcha.
The fact that it's separated is enough.
Very well.
I wonder if it would be helpful to include where that information came from here, if people want to refer to something.
Oh boy, let's see.
You could cite Cork meeting Chief Fasaro.
Yeah. Which meeting was that? The 7th of October. When did he come?
I'm not sure.
All right. Um, all right, I'll make a note of that. How about court meeting minutes?
I can fix the citation and put it into APA like the rest of the document when I go to put this into a single PDF.
Okay.
And I'll find the meeting and link it in. Did you include the particular comments about this in the minutes, or should I instead just link the recording to the video?
I did actually write this out. This is one of the ones I made a good detailed note on, because I thought it was important. So it is in the written minutes, but it never hurts to have a.
Yeah, I can link
video.
both.
Great, thank you. All right. Well, let's while everyone's considering 3, 4, and 5, I'm going to look up my email real quick. I think I have something that will remind me of which meeting that was.
This is Representative Kasiri. There's just one thing I wanted to add to section 3, whenever you're ready.
Sure. What's your thought?
And number 5, when we're talking about other recourses, and rather than just talk about how you can file a civil action complaint, you can also file a CHRO complaint with the state, the Commission of Human Rights and Opportunities.
All right. Are you in the document, Representative Kasiri?
Yes.
Do you
That would
want
be
to just
under
go
section
to,
3.
yeah, if you want to put the sentence in there that you're imagining,
Sure.
that'd be great.
Okay.
Thanks.
So Representative Richards, I looked through my emails. I think you're right. October 7th was the date.
Excellent. Thank you. All right. All right. That looks good. Just to be consistent on a format level, I'm going to switch the order of this spelled out version to the.
No problem. My apologies.
No worries. All right, any other further comment in section 3? All right, hearing none, moving on to section 4, oversight options available to town of Groton. Representative Richards, you had a note here. And it was before I'd actually drafted out this section completely. So then I had a return note explaining what my approach was. And I am open to any all comments, questions, and suggestions on this. I'm not sure, Representative Gauthier.
Should we include, I can't remember if it already is, let me look quickly. But if it's not, should we include the town attorney's opinion in the appendix?
Yes, actually,
Yeah.
thank you for mentioning that. We haven't done that, have we?
No.
All right. Yeah, that was on my list. I guess I missed it. Yes, thank you.
I think the second headline, options available to the town of Groton, can be deleted since it's already included in the section headline. I know that that will take away the comment though, which if everyone's all set with it, then.
All right. Any thoughts on section 4, including all subsection 1, 2?
Representative Richards here. I'm assuming, and as you say in the notes above here, that the kind of like the steps and the legality of these options, you were cross-checking with these other documents, and I don't know off the top of my head that all of these are in a line in that way. I wonder if it would be helpful to have somebody from the town just look through this section and make sure that it kind of like jives with their understandings as well before we present that.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, I like that idea. That'd be the, I guess the town attorney would be the logical place to go. Or,
Well,
The town manager may be able
Yeah.
to take that up himself or have a suggestion if it wouldn't be him. I think I would start there.
gotcha.
yeah, he doesn't charge in 15-minute increments.
Yeah. All right. All right. All right, so do we want to keep moving through other sections, or and like leave this, just punt this over to the town manager and let him take a look at this section? Where do
This
we
is
want?
Representative Richards. I don't see any reference to the police bill that went through over the summer, which certainly affects these options.
Mm-hmm.
I think it would be suitable to at least mention it in this section that it affects them. I don't know if we need to in particular explain all of that. But the hard part, I guess, for that is too that it changes at different points in time as that the police accountability
There's
bill.
different phases in the bill.
Yeah. So I don't know if we need to get into that level of detail, but I think a reference would certainly be important.
All right.
I see it is referenced at the beginning here, but it's something saying that it does affect these options and that there are phases to it.
Would you envision that being in the opening paragraph?
Yes.
I don't know. I'm kind of I'm spinning my wheels here. Representative Richards, do you want to take a swing at the sentence? What you just said was a good thought. I just can't. I'm not having trouble capturing it.
Perhaps like the options that are available to the town and the degree of changes that may be required to put them in place will vary based on the police accountability bill and what phase that is in at that time. I don't know if you have referenced it earlier, but it might make sense to say that the state or Connecticut police accountability bill, so people understand the level of that law. For a maybe nitpicky thing, I would change versus to something else. Maybe the timing with which any change may be decided upon in relation to or something like that, instead of versus kind of seems like as opposed to in some way.
I'm also, if you don't mind, going to change it from Connecticut state to state of Connecticut, just so it's not confused that it only applies to the
Sure.
state police.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Good idea. Should we change that earlier on in the paragraph as well then?
Yes. All right.
I'm sorry, I had stepped out for part of this conversation. Did you say you were going to check with the town manager for some of the verbiage of this section?
Yeah, I was gonna, I'll send this off to him and make sure that we have our conclusions correct as far as what would require an ordinance or a charter change versus what would not.
Okay, because the only thing that I'm seeing that I thought was a little bit debated upon was the fact that a civilian oversight and review board would be a subcommittee of the public safety committee. I just recall it being debatable, so I just want to make sure we have our language correct.
Say, well, to clarify, otherwise, if it's formed in any other way, then it would require a charter change.
I understand. I just recall remembering something about how it had to stand on its own. So I just would like clarification before we sign off on this.
Right. Yeah, I'll send that along to him for that. I'm not, was that a meeting with the town manager where that was brought up, or which one?
I believe so, yeah. Thank you.
Thanks.
Representative Richards here. I'm afraid I have to go for the evening. I think we've got the bulk of what we needed, so hopefully I'm not leaving you all with too much. Thank you for all your work.
Thank you, Representative Richards.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
Good night. Have a good Thanksgiving.
So moving on down to what's next here. Oh, committee consensus and recommendations. So that brings us full circle back to what we did last week. So we don't need to go through that again unless someone has some outstanding feelings. All right. So I'm going to email this section to Mr. Burke, and I will seek his comment on the conclusions here. And hopefully we're not too far off the base.
So Representative Gauthier here, does that mean we have to schedule another meeting? If we're not able to finalize this draft tonight?
Well, is Representative Rusk still here? We just had the rules. And
I am.
Oh, okay. As a chairperson with far more experience than I have, what's your thought on that?
I think we could say, as long as it's not changed at all, we do not need to come back. If we're all in agreement, this is how we want it. But if there's any changes, then yes, I would say we need to come back.
Okay. I'm comfortable leaving it like that. So if Mr. Burt says, note those conclusions are fine, if that's a decent assessment, then we're good to go.
Yeah.
If not, then we'd have to reconvene one more time.
Okay.
Do we have a consensus agreement that we're all good with this?
Yes, I
Yes.
do have a question though.
Mhm.
Would everyone be okay though that I still have to go back and put in the full forms and it looks like I have to find the town attorney opinion and put it in there too. But that's just for the PDF version of the document. I wouldn't be changing any of the actual language. Is everyone okay with that?
Dean Shinbroth's fine with it.
I'm fine with it.
Can we just, and only because there will be changes to the document, I would say send it out to everyone. And if anyone wants to call a meeting, I would do it that way then, because there will actually be changes then.
Mhm.
So if anybody wants to call a meeting and say, I'm not okay with this, I don't know, because we're approving this. You know what? I would just say schedule one more meeting. If there's any changes to the document, I would say schedule one more meeting.
Yeah, I'm,
Representative Gauthier here. Can we have a consensus to meet briefly before the next RTM meeting to finalize it? And then everything should be done. And we can email out the draft around and have people make their comments via email or in the document. And that way we can have just a brief meeting before the RTM.
Like right before the meeting, the same night of?
Yeah, just to do a vote to finalize the draft.
Right
I
before
think-
caucuses.
that would only work if Mr. Burt doesn't have any comment to the section we're sending him.
Mm.
I agree. If the only changes are what Representative Gauthier puts in, then I think a quick meeting before the next meeting would be perfect, because odds are we're all just going to say, yes, this is fine. But if Town Manager Burt makes major changes, I mean, we could still meet then and maybe we're all fine with it. But we may need a little bit more time. Oh, because we're presenting it at the next RTM. Crap.
Mhm.
Do we need to approve it beforehand so that we can send it out to everybody? Because people are not going to have time to read it.
Yeah, that's true. Probably need another meeting then.
I think we're all in the same boat.
Yeah.
I think that once John returns it with however he submits it back to us, we can take I think then Ian can alert us that it came back from John. It will already have Lauren's changes to it, and then maybe we can just schedule assuming that nobody has any major changes after that, and then we read it all and it's good, that we can do some short meeting and just have just have a quick vote.
Agreed.
Yeah, I think that could work. Yeah, much depends on how much the manager, if he wants anything changed or not. So yeah, let's look at the first week of December, possibly that Wednesday night, as a possible meeting. Only if it's necessary. That'd be the 2nd, December 2nd. Because the RTM meeting would be the 9th, correct?
Of
Yes.
December, holy moly.
Yeah, we're already there.
We have the Republicans have a town committee meeting that night. So I don't know if that I wouldn't be able to attend.
Neither would I.
I'm not available December 2nd either.
All right. What about the 1st? At the 5 o'clock time, so we're well ahead of the town council meeting.
It works for me.
Okay.
For me.
That works for me.
All right, so aim for a 5 p.m. Tuesday, December 1st for just a quick cleanup meeting. Whatever, to review Representative Gauthier's additions and to consider any comments from the town manager. Sound
Sounds
good?
good. Sounds
Okay.
good.
Very well. All right. Thank you all.
Thank you. Happy
you.
Thanksgiving, everybody.
Thank
too.
you.
Be
Happy
safe. Wear your
Thanksgiving.
mask.
All right. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.